We joined in our Women's Month conversations from Cape Town in the Western Cape province by the founder of Ses'fikile Wines, a former teacher, I must say. She's going to talk to us about Women's Month, what issues she's facing as a woman, and what her journey has been from being a school teacher to the winemaker that she is today, and how the wine is doing. Nondumiso Pikashe, welcome.
Thank you, Victor.
Remind me again the name of your wine business, Ses'fikile. How did you arrive at it?
It's an entrepreneurial journey. As you have indicated, I come from a teaching background, so I left the classroom to pursue this entrepreneurial enterprise in the wine industry, which has always been there, yet foreign to me. So that was way back in 2004 when the brainchild was coined.
What made wine as a business attractive to you?
As I say, it was something that was there, that always has been there, but it was foreign. So I was curious as to why we had a beautiful manicured vineyards in the Western Cape, and yet they remain foreign to my community. We had wine, but wine in my community was very unrespected or disrespected, as it were. So
what do you mean by that?
People who drank wine in my community were not accorded the same respect as those who were drinking beer and spirits. So wine was for those who were right at the bottom of the social ladder.
Which community is this, though? You're saying it was not respected in your community. Which community are we talking about?
We're talking about black townships.
Black townships in general.
Yeah, yes.
And you have been involved now for how long, and what changes have you noticed?
I've been involved we're running for the 15th year next year. Changes are there, but they're very, very slow. They are at a snail's pace. It's like we are not there. We're just, as wine makers, as wine producers, as wine entrepreneurs of color, we are just there as an adornment. There is no full representation or participation in the whole wine industry value chain.
You talk about access. We are in Women's Month. In 1956, women marched on Pretoria to protest past laws and other apartheid legislation. What would you say as a Black African winemaker, who's also a woman, are having to deal with? If women in 1956 marched against past laws, what is your day-to-day existence in the wine industry putting you up against?
We should be drawing strength. We should be drawing confidence, from that act of defiance and that act of claiming your power as a woman, to say things will start happening when we stand up and as women. I think the same thing should happen in the wine industry. From when 1994 dawned, when opportunities began to open up for women, I think we still rely on men to pave way for us. We still rely for men to knock on doors for us, and for what I mean is that for sustainable change in the wine industry. I think we need to stand up and do what those women in 1956 did to claim our place in the wine industry, and not to wait for crumbs while we have also need to access the bigger cake.
But what is the biggest obstacle you face right now?
We don't have access to means of production. I mean, the wine industry value chain starts from the land, represented by the vineyard, to be specific, in the wine industry space. And you move from the vineyard is the cellar. Cellar is the bottling and labeling, distribution, and retail. So none of us are represented in all that value chain.
Which means to you, all those upstream activities are a cost, which will make you less competitive than people who have land and the seller infrastructure.
Absolutely. And to top that with the fact that they have been there for almost 4 centuries with long established relationships, not only nationally, but also internationally.
What about getting your product to the market though? What obstacles are you facing there?
It's distribution. That is the biggest one. That closes the access to the end consumer. So you won't find our brands in the retail store. You won't find
what do they tell you, the owners of the retail outlets, when you try and place your wine on their shelves?
It's a long story, which is characterized by cost, one. The second one is an image thing that black brands do not work. So you'll be asked for capacity of production. Do you have your own seller? Do you have a distribution channel of your own? Do you have your own warehouse? You know, do you meet all the things that really will really make you feel discouraged? You know, but we soldier on.
But you've been at it for 15 years, as you're saying, soldiering on. It means Ses'fikile is getting somewhere. How do you get it out to the market? I know you have already had international presence. How do you get your product to the market? Do you just sell directly?
It's venturing in unconventional way of marketing. Your word of mouth, the social media helps, you know, networking platforms, and then for delivery or distribution, you use the courier company to deliver to your target clients.
Well, let's close with that. If people want to buy Ses'fikile wine, how do they get in touch with you?
I have a website running, www.ses'fikile.co.za. I'm also available on Facebook. I've got a FB page there, so they can reach me through those platforms.
All right, www.ses'fikile.
SESI. www.ses'fikile.co.za.
Okay, and you stock all kinds of wine. I know there's Merlot, there is Cab Sav, there all those. You make all, both red and white?
I don't have all kinds of wine. I've got a focused product portfolio. We carry 3 unique blends: a Shiraz Cinsault blend, Chenin Blanc Roussanne blend, a Cabernet Sauvignon Merlot, as well as a straight Pinotage. We also introduced this year a MCC, which is called Matriarch Pinotage Rosé.
Wow. Nondumiso Pikashe, thank you very much. If 1956 was a way to break through into new ground, you are a Mbogoto in the true sense of the word. We appreciate you.
A matriarch indeed. Thank you so much, Victor.